So again, welcome in this session of hybrid renewable energy system, followed by the simulation of wind and solar PV system. The simulation has been done in standalone mode. So the basic aim of this session to introduce the listeners and the students with hybrid renewable energy system. Usually, as per our curriculum, it is the last topic. At the end of all the sources, we shall have a close look of the hybrid renewable energy system. So basically, if we talk about the hybrid system, it's not a new word. Hybrid is something like more than one source. If we can hybridize two sources, in ultimate case, it's a hybrid system. Say for example, if you have a rooftop solar photovoltaic modules that is existing, we have clubbed with rooftop either with the grid. So it is the basic form of the hybrid system. It means that when we turn on the load, at that time the hybrid system comprising of either power would be shared to the load from the grid or from the solar PV. So in this case, more than one source. Now to increase the reliability of the system, we have incorporated the battery backup. In the very first video, I just tried to develop the design of the solar PV system with the battery backup. So in that case, one can find the backup as a backup source with the battery. So again, in this example, we are considering three sources: solar itself, then battery. If both the fails, then power shall be taken from the grid. So again, this is an example of hybrid system. So we will go in the systematic way to incorporate these renewable sources into the hybrid system. That is our today's talk. So if one can define the hybrid system, so ultimately it can be a standalone, it can be a grid connected. In case of standalone, the name itself indicates that the system is wholly connected alone, means there is no grid. Suppose our inverter is not grid tied. Say for example, solar inverter. If it is not grid connected, then the power is generated from the PV will be converting into the AC format via inverter, and it is there for the batteries also. So at that time the grid is not there. So the standalone hybrid grid can be defined as a localized grid powered by a combination of different energy sources for feeding the domestic or commercial load for a small area. As the magnitude of this power is very small, so it can be fed for small area in context of domestic load or the commercial load. Talking about the hybrid system, it can be incorporate the different components such as a production of the power, say for example wind solar hybrid system, a storage, it can be a battery, it can be a supercapacitor, or it can be a SMES, that is superconducting magnetic energy storage, or any power conditioning, because we need to manage the power and the system control to supply the power particularly to the remote community where the grid is highly inaccessible. So this is the layout of the hybrid system at a glance. So in this system, we are having the solar photovoltaics, a wind turbine, and the battery. So over here, the solar modules will generate the DC power. It is connected with the boost converter. Right now, this boost converter and MPPT control is itself available in the inverter topology. But for the sake of simplicity, we just have a discretization of the components, and then it is connected with the load. Similarly, we are having the wind turbine. Obviously, we have a variable wind throughout the day, so the frequency of the generator and speed of the generator will definitely vary. So we are using for the small system, there is a uncontrolled rectifier. If it is large size grid connected system, we will go with the controlled rectifier at this junction. Similarly, with the uncontrolled rectifier, we are having the MPPT control with DC to DC boost converter, and again we can feed the power into this black line is the DC bus. So from that we can drive the DC load, and we are going to have a central inverter facility. From that we can convert the same power that is to be dumped in DC bus into the AC conversion. Then there is also a scope of the, as I mentioned, there is a backup. So the backup source is the battery in this case. So we have a battery bank. This battery will charge and discharge depending upon the availability of the power. As the grid is not there, this is the layout of hybrid standalone system at a glance. So it just look like this. So we are having the bidirectional converter. So there is a two-way power flow. In this case, this bidirectional converter acts as a boost converter if the battery will provide a backup. Either it will drive the DC load, or through inverter it will drive the AC load. If we have excess of power from the solar and wind, then this converter operates in the reverse way in the buck mode, and one can charge the battery. So this is what the typical layout of the hybrid standalone system at a glance in general. Now this is the block diagram of the same. So we are having a wind turbine. It is connected with the generator. Usually there are four types of wind generator: type A, type B, type C and type D. Currently for the rooftop application and for the small community, the power sharing among the small community, we are having this small wind turbine. So we are having the direct drive system, and that wind turbine is connected with the generator. So in the case of generator, we are having the multi-pole permanent magnet type, which is connected to the uncontrolled rectifier. Then we have a DC to DC converter, which is MPPT based, and then with this line represents the DC bus, so we can dump the power in the DC bus. Parallel to that, we are having the solar PV. Again we are having DC to DC converter, which is MPPT based. Again there is a protection of diode inside this to incorporate the reverse power flow at night, because PV has some internal resistance that is known as the series and shunt resistance. So again this direction is the single way. There is no bidirectional, there is single direction. And then we are having the battery bank that is connected with the bidirectional DC to DC converter. We are having a two-way power flow. Then at this constant voltage, some DC load is connected. Then we have a controlled inverter in this case, and then we can feed the power into the AC load. If you can have a grid over here, then you may go with some videos that is already shared with you to check how we can convert these sources into the grid. Usually by adding the grid, we are increasing the reliability of the system. Apart from that, if suddenly in this kind of system where the grid is not connected or grid is not existing at all, in that case we have to incorporate the dump load over here. Otherwise the excessive power generation will be there and there is no usage of power. So the dump load is also a very good scheme. People are using an electrolyte in the dump load. You will find certain load in the distillation industries where you can use a light means with less illumination lightnings, where we can divert the power at any point of time during the day. You have, if you are thoroughly known to the thermal power plant, where with the sudden off all the loads are disconnected, the voltage will be very high. At that time, at the generator end, some dump loads are connected for maintaining the 1 per unit voltage at the generator end or at the sending end side. Similarly, the same thing that is incorporated in terms of block diagram, we are having a charge controller, that is DC to DC converter, and the bidirectional converter with this. From this DC bus, we are having the DC loads, then we have fuses, then we have a capacity of the various battery level. Again, if you have gone through that design sheet, Excel sheet shared with you, and it is available in the very first video, we are having this different varieties of the battery bank depending upon the sizing of the array of the PV panels. Similarly, we are having the inverter, then we are having the isolation switch that is connected with the AC load. So again, that is the basic block diagram of PV and its standalone mode, as it is comes under the hybrid system because the source is more than one. Obviously, the primary source is the photovoltaic modules, and the secondary source is ultimately the battery. This is much interesting example you have seen number of times in the video and in the television itself. This plane was landed at Ahmedabad airport before 3 years back or so. It is nothing but the Impulse Solar Impulse. So name of the plane is Impulse, and ultimately the full name is Solar Impulse. It is basically running with the solar and battery. For the auxiliary, the battery requirement is must. So it is the Solar Impulse technology. So in ultimate case, the system has a plenty of example and plenty of scope in the hybrid system. Talking about the hybrid renewable energy system, what are the other architecture? We are having the more than one sources. Now this is what new thing, diesel power plant. The controller has a central control, that is a two-way power flow for the battery and diesel, because it acts particularly as a backup sources. So again we are adding one more source. Obviously the cost has been increased, but the reliability is also increased. So if you can talk about the wind turbine, we are converting this AC power generated from the wind generator into DC. Then we are having the DC load. Then at constant DC, we are converting this into AC, and we are feeding the AC load. That similarly can be there for the battery and the diesel. One thing that you will take care, suppose this inverter is 3-phase, and we are considering the various operations of the 3-phase inverter at some typical line to line voltage of 440 volt, and the single phase is of 325 volt DC. It means that if a single phase source is of 230 volt AC, then I should try to operate this bus at 325 volt. In day-to-day life for modern hybrid system, the DC bus has been flooded with as good as 600 volt DC, because typical solar inverters or the hybrid inverters or the smart inverters, you can use any of the what that can be operated above 550 or 600 volts, typically 600 volt DC. Sometimes it is 680 to 700 volt for the grid tied wind applications. So according to that, you will select the DC link voltages, that is inside component of the converters, and you have already observed the waveform of the incorporation of the capacitors in the power electronics. So in similar case, that could be there over here, and this 1, 2, 3, and this is on off switch with the diesel generator. So if at all you need it, you can turn it on and turn it off. Then all the three sources are supposed to operate at the same voltage level. So this is what the main challenge we observed in the hybrid energy system, and then it is converting into AC again. So this is what the control structure. So we are having the wind turbine, we are having the diesel generator, we are having the photovoltaic array, then there is the efficiency of the rectifier 95%, the conversion efficiency of charge controller is again assumed to be 95%, and the inverter is also 95%, as well as the battery, because all the components are static. For the uninterruption, there is an optional way of UPS that has been incorporated in this structure and with the battery backup. So in this block diagram, in hybrid system, 4 sources are used. The first is the wind turbine, second is the photovoltaic array, third is the battery, and fourth one is the diesel generator. So if we can talk about the wind profile in this case, in wind profile we have a variable wind speed with the variable angle, break pitch angle, and almost the rho is constant, that is 1.225 kg per meter cube. If we are combining, then you can draw this characteristic, and with the change in regime wind speed we are having the various kilowatt hour incorporation. Talking about the AC load, this is the wind regime, and we are having the load curve for the AC load. So from that we are going to have the efficiency of incoming power divided by the total power. That's what we are expecting. So from that we can have the curve of the energy. In similar way, we can also go with the solar photovoltaic array. We are having the increment in radiation at the solar noon, and in both the cases with respect to our angle, this radiation G, or a global radiation GLC, or the insolation is going to be vary. Then we are having the theta, that is the temperature, and ultimately per degree centigrade, and this is the angle at which this radiation is going to be considered. Then similarly we are having the IV curve of the photovoltaic panel, ultimately the efficiency. Similarly we can have a load curve, we can have an efficiency curve, and we will generate the energy curve for the solar photovoltaic. Our third segment is the battery. Over here battery could be considered with sudden of charge and depth of discharge. So we are having the various depth of charge with respect to the voltage and the charge, that is ampere hour itself. It is going to be vary between 0 to 1. So in this fashion, depending upon the load, this hybrid system will operate, and there is a change in state of charge. Similarly, if you can go with this charge controller, it might be a bidirectional converter in this case. So what we can do is we can have a bidirectional flow. So at that bidirectional flow, when the battery will be charged at this case, because the sign of the current is in towards the battery side, it is away from the battery side. Now as it is towards from battery side, again your voltage will be developed. This is the basics of the block diagram of the wind energy system. So in similar way, over here the basics word for the block diagram, which is more than one. In this case I just want to show about the wind and battery system only, but over here see, this is bidirectional DC to DC converter. It means that when the battery is in discharging mode, it will be discharged through this switch. This switch will remain on off condition. So when this switch will be on, this switch will be on, at that time the current will flow from this and the battery will charge. So there is on off conditions always with the NOT gate for having the same thing as a backup. So the thing is that if you have a Q2, what is the need of this? Because when this switch will be off, this will be on. At that time the inductor energy will be free will, and this diode will be acting as a reverse bias. Then this is for 3-phase operation. So this is for small community, small rating wind generator system with the battery backup, which is connected with the 3-phase voltage source inverter, and through proper amount of filter it is fitted with the load. So these are the typical hybrid systems. Let's have a look with this. So in figure 1 we have a grid-tied hybrid system at common DC bus, then common AC bus, then standalone with common DC bus, then we are having the standalone system with common AC bus, and then hybrid system with AC microgrid. So there is a possibility of the common DC bus, so DC bus is common and AC bus is common, again DC bus is common and central inverter, again AC bus is common but the standalone AC load, and then we are having the AC microgrid. So there are multiple options of the hybridization of renewable energy system in context of types of connections also. Let's take one example of the hybrid system, particularly grid tied with the common DC bus. So in the common DC bus, the photovoltaic array, which is connected with the DC to DC converter, and then it is connected with the common DC bus, that is figure number 1. As it is connected with the common DC bus, our inverter unit is tied with battery, photovoltaic and the wind turbine together. So it's a central inverter. Likewise for others we are having the different topology. You will also able to find the various papers, that is research articles and the projects to run this system with its control aspect. So if you can talk about the need of the battery bank in the hybrid system study or a study of fuel cell, you can have one more backup as a SOFC, that is fuel cell. Over here electrolyte act as a dump load. So as we can add one more source, obviously the cost of the system is increased, but the reliability is also increased. Now we are having the classification or the categorization of the isolated power system. If you are less than 1 kilowatt system, it can be termed as a micro systems, the single point DC based system. If you have a 1 to 100 kilowatt system, we are having the village power system or small power system. If you have a 100 to 10,000 kilowatt, or you can say 10 megawatt system, it is islanded power system, which is used where the grid connection is not possible in the isolated area. If it is greater than 10,000 kilowatt or a 10 megawatt system, it is large connected system, or it is also used for the large remote power system. This is an example of DC based hybrid system for small remote communities. Over here we have a turbine, then we have a battery bank, PV array and the generator. Generator or a battery, it might be a bidirectional. We are having the turbine disconnect switches, we are having a turbine controller, DC source center, a battery bank or a bidirectional converter. Then we have also PV array, which is connected with the PV charge controller, and ultimately we can fit the DC load as well as AC load together. Now in the case of AC system, we are having only AC load, the DC load is not present, so we can feed the power. Again the grid is not used over here, so we are having a generator, means in this case wind generator, a diesel generator, battery bank, again the bidirectional converter, PV array and its inverter and controller topology that is to be used. Now we will start about the simulation of the solar and wind energy system. So from this simulation, I just want to have a close look of how the wind speed and radiation will vary. That is the main aim behind this simulation. So we are having a wind turbine over here, which is connected with PMSG, that is permanent magnet synchronous generator, which is direct drive system. It is connected to the uncontrolled rectifier. Then we are having the voltage and current. Accordingly the boost converter has been designed and it has been fed to the DC load. Then we are taking the samples of the current and the voltage. It has been fitted to one of the popular algorithm. I have already shared the video related with the MPPT control, that is part of an observe method. Then it is generating as a reference current. It is compared with the actual current or sense current, and through PI controller and limiter we can control these switches in terms of the duty cycle. So these are the simulation result. If we are considering the case 1, this is what the input in meter per second, that is wind speed, and these are the timings of that. So if you can go with the various aspects of the same, we are having 8, 9, 10 and again 9. So this is our wind regime. That's what we have applied to the system. This is what the measured input wind speed, and this is the variation in the load. Again, this is what the power generated. This is the system of the 3 kilowatt wind speed, and this is our current, that is a watt per voltage, that is the current. In similar case, we are having the variable change, means a large variation in the wind speed. For that we require high computational facilities. So that is the input, that's what we are going to take. This is accordingly change in the voltage. Accordingly, this is the change in power. This is more than one turbine, where we can go with the 6 kilowatt of power, and accordingly the current is going to be changed. Similarly, this is the simulation of photovoltaic energy system, that is PVES. We are having the solar module disconnected with the boost converter. Again the same thing, PID algorithm generating the reference current. This is the new thing, because till date we have done lots of simulations on the voltage perturbation. This is the current perturbation. The basic aim of the current perturbation means a large impact of the radiation on the short circuit current, and comparatively the modules are connected in series, so you'll get a less chance of dropping of current, and you will get the accurate result of the I reference sample. If you can take any photovoltaic module, this can be explained in other way, that it has a 20 volt and 4 ampere power supply, or 20 volt and 7 ampere power supply. So with the change in radiation, there is a huge impact of 7 to 3.5. if I have half the radiation from 1 sun to 0.5 sun, that is 1000 watt per meter square to 500 watt per meter square. So this is what the system has been tested for a 250 watt module, by having the perturbation pattern as an input, and this is what the power drawn by the load, and this is what the boosting of the voltage. This cell voltage represents particularly the output of single PV module. If we are not incorporating the PV in this case, the study has been done for the 30 modules. See, this is what the lead tracking of the MPPT, and when you will incorporate the MPPT technique, this is what the system will be increased. Now when we can hybrid this system, there are again more challenges by incorporating the problems of the constant voltage issues on the DC bus. So this is the block diagram of photovoltaic system with MPPT, and where we can focus on this. This is the same graph, but over here this MPPT algorithm plays a role in this. See how it is detract. So whenever we are considering this MPPT, at that time we have a reference current that is to be drawn, and this is how the detract of the MPPT, and again it has been tracked. This is the same result, but how and where it has been impacted, it is shown over here in this diagram. Similarly, this is for the wind system, and where the MPPT has been lying over here. So in the case of results of wind MPPT, this is what the measured voltage and current, and the red line is the power consumed. See, the line of the power consumed has been tracked the main curve. If you can incorporate the same in the hybrid system, over here we are having the reference voltage that has been compared with the actual load voltage. And sorry, it has been not seen, it has been compared with the actual load voltage, and these two systems are forcefully operating at this voltage. And in similar case, the output has been derived from the various system that is to be incorporated in the hybrid system level. So this is what for the battery backup system. Now let's talk about the some critical findings of the hybrid system one by one. So this is a selected list of the hybrid system installed throughout the world till 2005. You can take this from various sources of the Bering Cloud resources. We are having a various St. Paul, Alaska in 1999. We are having a diesel power of 300 kilowatt and the wind power of 225 kilowatt with the various value of wind penetration. This AA, small a, denotes the peak power rating. Similarly, there are some renewable hybrid system across the globe, and the overview of the system for typical level of the hybrid system. So we are having a various challenges in the hybrid system. If you go with the typical household level with the typical 24.4 megawatt hour consumption and with some battery backup. So these are the other wind solar hybrid system that is to be there. Now let's discuss the same so you get the idea of it. So this is what the importance of batteries. This is the DC link voltage. Without battery, see, with the change in wind speed, the voltage of the battery is going to be collapse. And if you add this battery in the incorporation of this is the paper of a renowned author. See, this is the DC link voltage. This is the effect of the battery in the hybrid system. So this is the need or the role of the energy storage in the hybrid system. Similarly, we are having the large power systems in terms of RAPS, that is nothing but the remote area power supply. So in that case, one control algorithm is there. So if we are having this is an example of the wind hybrid energy storage with the battery and the supercapacitor both. So this algorithm will detect the wind power first, and they will check whether the wind speed is within the permissible range or not. If it is in between the cut in and cut out level, and we will have the power, that is PW minus PL, that is power from wind minus power from load. If it is greater than 0, then the battery will be charging, otherwise the battery will provide as a backup. And if still the load is more, then one can go with the load sharing control, and ultimately we are having the frequency control. Now if there is a less amount of load, then we are having the dump load on control technique, which is again, if it go with the speed, wind speed, at that time, if it is in the considerable range of the blade control technique, there will be a pitch control regulation will be there of the turbine. So this is what the control coordination of wind battery supercapacitor based hybrid system. As we have described, this is one of the very interesting paper of the elsewhere, where we are having the installations across the globe of various hybrid systems. So from this you will be able to know that what are the possible outcomes of certain hybrid system. Say there is a rural area of India with a peak power rating of 209 kilowatt hour per year, load consisting of 3 lamps, 1 TV, 1 radio. The design capacity is very small, which is incorporated with 60 Ah battery. Similarly, the solar system would be found to be more economical than the diesel generator. So these are the other criteria where every system has their own bound criteria, because if you can incorporate or installation of the PV, it is also depending upon the location of the installation of the system. And this is the general architecture of the hybrid solar energy system. We can incorporate more than one source. So in this session we tried to incorporate lots of incorporation of the renewable energy sources, that is to be empower the grid. It might be, but again this all are the stochastic in nature. So ultimately, as a part of Indian or Indian citizen, we must promote this kind of energy sources. Still we are in the era of 20 to 22% of the total sharing of the renewable power. You may find this data in the MNRE website, and ultimately you will get the desired data whatever you want. So I'm thankful to you all for spending your valuable time to see this video of the new thing you will become up with this hybrid energy system. So with this, thank you very much. Thank you all.